Good morning, love leaders. We are getting everything up and going live. Welcome to the Dr. Shanon Live Show. I'm Dr. Shanon Roberts with you each and every week answering your questions. And so let's just dive right in. Today's question that came to me, and you are welcome to send yours in every week as well, is how do we get to a place of forgiveness when angry? Whoa, this is a heavy one today. And listen, I'm going to go under the assumption that it's a working relationship, seeking to forgive even when another person might not be aware of the offense or isn't acknowledging it as an offense. Those are two different pathways. But today we're talking about how do I move to a place of forgiveness with my partner when I have been angered? And so let me start by saying that a lot of times anger is a secondary emotion. And it usually is that second emotion that comes up that we feel when we need to move into a place that we are protecting. And so I would say the very first step is identifying why we're angry. Be able to maybe understand what was that more vulnerable emotion before anger. And this is a little bit more difficult because a lot of times if we aren't well versed in feeling identification and feeling expression, or maybe we weren't necessarily raised in a home that allowed a whole lot of emotional expression or labeling or identification, we aren't good at it. So trying to take yourself back to that moment of impact before you got angry and identifying why it was so impactful, why it was so intensely emotional for you. Was it because you felt hurt, or you felt unheard, or you felt unimportant, or you felt rejected, or you felt judged? If we can get to that more vulnerable emotion, those emotions that we usually move quickly away from because they're uncomfortable, I would say being able to kind of sit in it and try to figure that out so that you are sharing with your partner from that place rather than your angry place. If you can share how you feel hurt and why you felt rejected and why you felt unheard and why, it goes a little bit easier. And what I would want to say is hopefully you've developed the skills in your relationship that when we are bringing a protest to our partner, that it matters to them. Instead of them being offended or them wanting to write your perception or explain why they did the act, or so that they're not misunderstood, all of those kind of stand in the way of really healthy conflict navigation. So hopefully you have the capacity in the relationship that you can receive your partner's offense and not feel threatened by it, that you can quickly ask for forgiveness. And it's a fine art in relationships to say, I'm so sorry. Even if it was unintentional, it still was impactful. I mean, we do it all the time. Let's say we're in public and we're in a big crowd and we accidentally step backwards and we step on a stranger's toe, and automatically our initial response is, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, excuse me, right? And we don't even think twice about it. And so if we can move into that space, it is such a gift if our partner brings a soft, vulnerable offense and they've taken a risk to want to share it in hopes that it matters to you. I hope that it matters to you so that you can give the gift of, I'm so sorry. I would have never wanted to hurt you like that. It was not my intent. And here's the second part of it. Then do something different about it. It's one thing to be remorseful. It's another thing to be willing to change behavior and to get new chapters under your belt where you're experiencing a person different. So, in safe relationships, helping our partners move to a place of forgiveness means that we're remorseful and we're willing to make shifts and changes in the behavior. And listen, then it's a two-way street. Then that person really has to be intentional of what they nurse. Listen, I know that sometimes it feels really good to go off into a little pity party and to rehearse the hurts and to remind ourselves of the impact and to replay the offense. Be really careful that we're not doing that pity party. It feels good in the moment, but it doesn't feel good in the long run. Choose reconciliation. Be able to play that I'm choosing the us over and above the I, that I am willing to open up opportunities for this person to feel restored, to feel forgiven, and even say the words, I forgive you, because our emotions follow our words. And so to be able to not bring it continually up. Sometimes we're going to have to, especially if the behavior is repeated. Here's another time that I'm talking to you about that is impactful. But if there has been a healing conversation, there has been a healthy soft protest, and the person is moving towards with a healthy response, and it matters to me, a restorative process, try to not nurse the offense mentally or verbally in the future. This takes some time. It takes some practice to develop these skills, especially if you come from a family that didn't necessarily teach you how to do this or demonstrate or role model it to you. And it's a fine art. And if you can't navigate it, please get some professional help so that they can hold safety in the room and teach you how to do these skill sets, because it's that important to the longevity and the relationship satisfaction in the long run. So that is your answer to your question today. Go love leaders, learn how to love well in your most important relationship. We'll see you next week for your questions answered.